Greetings. Welcome to the SciFi Pubcast, the podcast that tries to be a pub, and perhaps someday a pub that tries to be a podcast. And as always, we are looking for customers to visit our bar. So if you're passionate about something and want to be on a podcast, please let us know, because this bar is all about community. And note, the SciFi Pubcast isn't doing this for money. We're doing it because we want to, because it's our passion project and we love these topics we talk about. So we don't have commercial breaks, we don't ask for a donation, but if you like what we're doing, please consider leaving a 5-star review on wherever platform you find the show, and join our little community on Discord. That'd be great. My name is Joel. I'm the owner of the SciFi Pubcast, and I'm looking around and I see my two, I always say dedicated, but because there are dedicated staff members. I see Carrie Simpson and Derek Beebe. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Right. You know what? We're recording this on Easter Day, April 12th. So happy Easter, guys. Yay!
Yay.
And of course, in about 10 days, April 22nd, it's Earth Day. Happy Easter. Happy Earth Day, I should say.
Happy Earth Day. And because I just got a notice on my phone, I should mention that 2 days before that is 420.
420. If that works
Hitler's
for you,
birthday?
Great.
What?
Hitler's birthday?
No.
It is.
Yes, but no. 420. It's a pot holiday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yes. So,
yeah.
Derek
Jazz cigarettes. I get it.
Yeah, I know.
What? No, not cigarettes. Yeah. Definitely not cigarettes.
I would say Derek needs to get out of his apartment more, but not.
But nobody's getting out of their apartments ever anytime soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually quite hungover right now. I don't know. Well, I know why. But still.
I'm shocked.
All right, Carrie, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I actually left the house on Friday because I needed to pick up some stuff. I tooled around looking like a bank robber, which is weird because like a month ago that look would have gotten me arrested or something.
Right.
Or at least a lot of funny looks.
Yeah. But now it's trendy.
But now it's fashion.
Yeah.
And it's kind of required. And it's weird.
The world moves so fast. It's amazing.
It does. It does.
And we have Derek. Derek, how's your life been so far this week?
Mine hasn't changed much. I work at a bank, so I am still going into the office every day. So I'm one of the few people who has been not super affected by the stay-at-home order.
Okay, cool. And of course, I should ask you about the SciFi kitchen. How's our kitchen doing?
Well, as you can imagine, food stores are getting a little low, and it's harder to find things out at the stores now. And my usual guys by the docks are closed, of course. I think that was done for a health inspection before this all started anyway. Mm-hmm. But I kind of had limited options for what to get today. So I call them Navi biscuits. They're just bagel bites with blue food coloring on them. It's the best I could do. I'm sorry.
Right. Are you sure it's food coloring?
Well, it's either sprinkles or glitter. I'm not sure which one. Either way, they're just going to pass right through you, so don't worry about it.
Oh, God. Do we have enough toilet paper in the restroom?
No, we're using our stock offerings for that.
Oh, good. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. I need something. Definitely going to, I just need to let it pick me up after this.
Is that a Red Bull?
It's the black variety from Dublin.
That's a Guinness.
That's a Guinness, yes.
Like a Red Bull? I don't know. I don't drink these things.
And I'm drinking out of my Guinness Obi-Wan Kenobi pint glass I got at the last celebration, Star Wars celebration. There you go. Speaking of which, yes, our beer recommendation for this show is a local Ottawa, or just outside of Ottawa, brewer. One of the main bad boys from back in the day. It's been around for about 20 years. It's called Bose. B-E-A-U-S, Bose. And I'm going to say you should try the Countdown Pale Lager. It's a blue and white can with a picture of an astronaut. They got me at astronaut. Actually, they got me at beer. But
okay. I figured they had you at the astronaut.
Yeah, I know.
Bit.
Yeah, it goes with the theme of the show, and we're all about theming, right?
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's a great pale lager, 5% alcohol by volume, and has an IBU rating of 33 out of 100. Yes, Derek doesn't know what I'm talking about, but some people who listen to the show do. Now,
But he probably understands that more than my smoking reference. So yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Okay, this is from their website, Bo's website. Hopefully I can do this justice in describing this Countdown Pale Lager. Countdown Pale Ale pours sunset gold with intentional slight haziness and a white foam. The hop aromas offers fruity, citrus, and berry. The initial rush of the malt sweetness gives way to firm hops that sweep in and suggest another sip. This medium-bodied ale is well balanced, and the finish is clean and mildly hoppy. There you go. Go out and support your local breweries, craft breweries. Yeah, but please don't fly to Ottawa to actually buy it. It's available in Ontario, at least through the LCBO and other vendors. But we're not here to talk about beer so much as celebrate Earth Day. And what better way than, I don't know, I had a show note little area there. I still have Star Wars in the show notes, no, but it's Avatar.
I was wondering why you had that on there. I thought that was a joke.
I don't object.
I thought you were going to make some kind of like joke about Star Wars being Avatar because they're both owned by Disney now or something like that.
Oh god, the crossover would be horrendous. Let's not do that ever. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about Avatar, James Cameron, the future of Pandora. So this is I don't know, this topic. Who came up with this topic? James Cameron. Oh, never mind. It's probably me.
This was your idea.
Yeah. Oh well. Sometimes
either way, it's from Canada.
Yeah, I get crazy ideas sometimes, especially when I haven't been to the pub in like 3 weeks. Right. The 2009 sci-fi movie broke box office records. It became the highest-grossing film of all time, knocking off Titanic until this one little Marvel movie called Avengers Endgame came along. Avatar was nominated for 9 Academy Awards and won 3 of them. They won for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, and Best Visual Effects. Guys, what are your first thoughts about Avatar and its future?
This is like watching Ferg. I mean, I love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but my first thought when I saw this movie 2009 was, this is Fern Gully, but with really big, mean fairies.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah. What's your first thoughts, Derek?
Well, I'm just going to put aside at the front that, yes, it's an unoriginal story. And yes, it's the white savior trope, which is problematic. But if you put those two things aside, I love this movie. I feel such a connection to it. I love the visuals. I love the story, the music, the acting, everything. And that connection has only deepened thanks to the Pandora land at Animal Kingdom. So I really feel a deep affection for this movie and for the land at Animal Kingdom. So I love it.
Wow. So you should have suggested this idea. Now, I had to figure out what you like and actually bring it to the table, which I'm okay with. But yeah, this film is something else. I should know James Cameron. He did Titanic. He did Terminator. He did a bunch of stuff like Into the Abyss. He's Canadian. Yeah. So so that's a drink. So each
that
time we have
explains
a
so
Canadian
much.
reference, we have to drink. That's the new rule I'm implementing right now. He when he was growing up, he spent a year or two, or maybe more than that, in this little town or city in Ontario called Niagara Falls. And he went to a high school by the name of Stanford Collegiate, which is on Lundy's Lane it's on the hill right behind Lundy's Lane. And I went there for my last year of high school. Yes.
Oh, neat.
I went to the same high school as James Cameron.
Did you beat him up?
No, we were about 20 years apart, 25 years apart.
I went to the same high school as Ron Howard, so it happens.
Yeah, actually, I did in Ontario at the time. We had what's called OAC, or Ontario Academic Credit, which you had to get 6 courses in order to get into university. So it's kind of like grade 13. Ontario changed that like 20 years ago, but back in the day, yeah, I had to pick up some courses. So I went to Stanford, which is not a very good high school. It's in the rough area of Niagara Falls. And I did theater. So that's where I did all my theater stuff.
Nice.
And so back when I was there in, let's just say, the 90s, so the green room for the theater was just called the green room. But since I left, they've actually named the green room the James Cameron Green Room. Isn't that cool? I love that.
That is cool.
Yes. So, Avatar. People like to take the piss out of Avatar because it is a somewhat simplistic story. I agree with Derek on that one. But visually, it was just so awesome from 2009. And how
I
it pushed
agree.
forward the different ratios of films and the way it was shot. It was very much like Star Wars, the original one, like the New Hope, when it actually pushed boundaries, or any of the Star Wars, or the Clone Wars. It very much advanced the way the visual medium is used to tell a story.
I mean, I don't disagree. It did a lot to advance the film industry. It is one of those movies that, because it was shot in 3D, I had to go and see it in 3D originally.
Right.
That's not normally a high priority on my list to go see something in 3D, but I think that one and Tron, and I think Alita were only, like, those ones deserve to be seen in 3D.
Yeah, I thought, especially going back to 2009, when 3D was like the new flavor of the year, again. So it was special. It was different. And yeah, Derek, what are your thoughts about the visual aspects of this film?
I'm watching it right now, and it's amazing that this movie is 11 years old because it looks amazing and completely real, and there's nothing that's come out in the 11 years since then that looks better than this. And at the time, it was a real revelation that something could look this good and this photorealistic with 8-foot tall blue cat people. Like it was one of it was one of those things, like everybody said this movie was going to bomb, just like they said Titanic was going to bomb. But never bet against James Cameron because he knows what he's doing. And he made the highest grossing film of all time. And it looks amazing. The world is just so beautiful. And, again, this brings in all my Disney World feels. But, just being completely transported to this beautiful, luscious living world is so amazing. Obviously, if I was there in real life, I would hate it because there's bugs everywhere. And I'd be like,
And you wouldn't be able to breathe because the atmosphere is not hospitable to humans.
Well, we're all used to wearing masks at this point now, so
that is true.
But yeah, I love it, and this movie did basically create the 3D craze that still exists today. It's been 11 years, and all the major movies are still in 3D now. I personally don't care about 3D. It was definitely worth it for this one in particular, but I don't generally go to 3D showings because it's cost you like $2 extra and you don't notice it after the first 10 minutes. But it was definitely noticeable with Avatar. It was gorgeous all the way through.
Yeah, you're talking to the guy who generally goes to the VIP cinema so I can drink and pay the $24 Canadian. Yeah, that's just me. Well, let's see. Well, let's talk about the plot and set things, because some people who listen to this podcast may not actually have seen it, or were born during that time period. But saying that, I'm going to read off the description off of Wikipedia. So that's on them. And thank you. Wikipedia is great. So this film is set in the mid-22nd century, where humans are colonizing Pandora, a lush, habitable moon of a gas giant in the Alpha Centauri star system, in order to mine the mineral unobtainium. Let's see, a room temperature superconductor. Okay, that's neat. The expansion of the mining colony threatens the continued existence of a local tribe of Na'vi, a humanoid species indigenous to Pandora. And the film title refers to the genetically engineered Na'vi body operated from the brain of a remotely located human that is used to interact with the natives of Pandora. And just to clarify, when you go to Disney's Animal Kingdom and you go to Pandora, you don't have to be an avatar. You can actually breathe the air in Florida. That's okay. So,
Hey, I wonder if they ever explain that away. I don't remember them, explaining that anywhere.
The the
The fact that
atmosphere.
we don't have to breathe, that we can breathe the air there. I never thought of that before.
Yeah.
And I think my only issue with that summary is that the humans aren't really colonizing Pandora, they're mining it. It's
Yeah, they're not going to live there. They're going to strip mine it.
they're just there to strip mine it. They're not there to live, because I mean they can't live on they can't live outside of the enclosures, outside of the environmental controls. So unless they, are in the genetically created bodies.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a historical analogy. Perhaps Europeans, like the French and the English, on the shores of Newfoundland in terms of fishing
Mm-hmm.
in the 15th century. Mining is a bit different because you need to get people off the ground, as opposed to mining, which is you need to have hamlets of like bases of operation.
Well, I you could go, more modern times and talk about, how the native indigenous populations in South America are being pushed out of the rainforest
Yeah, that's it.
because of all the logging and stuff down there.
Or the diamond trade in parts of Africa. Right?
Yeah.
The blood diamonds.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
humans are crap, man.
Yeah, well, it's about
Humans
power.
suck.
Yeah, absolutely. Either slavery or just you treat the people who actually live in the land really horribly bad because you want something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, terrible. And I think this theme it goes on, and it's central to probably our age because, yeah, what you do with local indigenous populations when there's real politic at play and major uh, energy issues at play,
Mm-hmm.
i.e.,
Mm-hmm.
oil is that's been around for how
And
many
also money.
Yeah. So.
We're boring Derek with all this political talk.
Oh God! Now look at See, who would Dirk be in the movie? Would he be one of the miners? Would he be like the scientist types, or would he be like one of the mercenary paramilitary guys?
Definitely not a soldier. I'd be the nerdy scientist that shows up alongside Jake, who, is been trying to learn the language for 5 years and is still pretty terrible at it.
Yeah. Actually, I like the whole. I'm going to butcher this word anthropology aspect of this. Learning.
Yeah.
I find that really neat, and it's kind of like this movie can. It's reminding me a lot of like Indiana Jones or like the 1930s or even before that when you're Europeans showing up in some far-fetched place on Earth trying to figure out how local tribes operate. It's quite satisfying.
Agreed.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's your favorite part of this movie, Derek?
The action. It is really beautiful when he gets on the Banshee for the first time and goes for that ride through the flying mountains. I mean, obviously, I guess that's something we've seen before, but those flying mountains are so gorgeous. And the fact that they were able to recreate it in person at Animal Kingdom was so incredible. But yeah, him flying through there, through all these floating mountains and the waterfalls and the mist and the vines and everything, it's just a gorgeous moment. And it's a little bit smaller, but also I love the fact that the main character was paralyzed and the Avatar program actually lets him walk again. So when he wakes up in the body for the very first time, he can walk for the first time in years, and he just goes on this delightful run outside, and he can feel the earth in his toes scrunching up. It's a beautiful moment for him because he's been denied that for all these years.
Yeah, so that's the character played by Sam Worthington. And of course, his love interest, which makes a lot of people blue in the face, is I'm going to butcher this again. Neytiri, played by Zoe. Neytiri, played by Zoe Saldana.
Saldana.
Yeah, she's a great actor. I actually like the one, the head scientist who has a major personality, Dr. Grace Augustine, played by Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
because
she's a
fabulous.
really great character. I really appreciated her watching it again just now. She's really funny in it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because of course her interests differs from the mining interests. She wants to
Well,
learn
no,
about the tribe. She wants to learn about the world.
exactly.
She's a scientist, right? She's not in
Hmm.
the pocket that much of big business. Of course, she's being employed by big business, but yeah, what can you do?
Details.
Details.
I also like the fact that she kind of came into this movie with her own pre-existing story. I mean, like she wasn't just there as like a sidekick to the main character. She taught a school and she had a relationship and a history with these people. And in some ways, Jake was the guest star to a pre-existing story that he was walking into. And I like that kind of complication because, like when a story is just A to B, it's hard for it to be very exciting. So it's always nice when there's wrinkles and backstories and complications like that.
Yeah. I like the fact she runs around the movie, at least at the beginning of it, wearing a sweatshirt from Stanford, which is, of course, the university in the States, right? That's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah. So then there's other great actors in this. Stephen Lang plays the nemesis or the bad guy, Colonel Miles Courage, something like that.
Quaritch.
I don't remember. I I barely recognized Stephen Lang in that role, and he was just so evil. Well, of course, I don't see Stephen Lang in a whole lot of things, and the last thing I saw him in was before this movie was Gettysburg,
Right.
and so he had the beard and stuff, but still, it's just like he was just such an asshole.
But he was such a military asshole, right?
Yeah, I
Very
know.
prim and proper. Yeah. And
I did appreciate.
Go ahead.
I did appreciate the fact that at the beginning of it, he doesn't seem to be that much of an asshole because he actually went out of his way to pull strings to get Jake his legs because he couldn't get it because of the bureaucracy, but he actually he did some work to make sure that he was going to get that surgery or whatever it is when he gets back home. So he was capable of generosity to his soldiers. Obviously, he was racist and didn't care about the indigenous life, but it was nice that there was something there in addition to him just being a generic bad guy.
Yeah, you can't really have crimes against humanity. We're not talking about humanity, right?
Bullshit.
But that's the thing, right? How do we define our terms, right? Yeah, he's committing cultural genocide and real genocide because he's targeting an identifiable group for whatever reason. In this case, this unobtainium mineral, right? And he doesn't care how he gets it. He just wants it. And the most effective way in his head is to blow everyone up, kill a bunch of people, teach them a lesson, and get them to back off his mineral rights, his corporations.
Well, it's not even his mineral rights; it's the company's mineral rights.
Yeah.
He's just the one. He's just the hired guns to get all these people off the land because the company doesn't care about the damn trees.
Yeah,
it sucks.
He's just a man doing his job, doing what the boss told him to do.
Yep, you don't question orders.
He strikes me as a Colonel Custer type character, right before he gets massacred by the Sioux. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, we all know what happened to Custer.
Yeah, and not good at all, because he never ever underestimate your enemy. So yeah, which of course is a running plot device in these types of movies. Right? Yeah. Well, there's other people who played characters in this movie. Michelle Rodriguez, Fast and Furious fame.
Yeah.
Really, really.
She was cool.
Yeah, and of course the corporate hack, Giovanni. How do you say his last name?
Ribisi.
Where do I know him from? I know him a bunch of stuff, right?
Oh yeah, he's been in everything.
Really cool. Yeah, this guy is just, he definitely plays the corporate sleaze quite well.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh, and Michelle Rodriguez, in the ending battle, she uses the call sign Rogue One.
Oh, neat.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, which is interesting. Oh, wow. I think this franchise has a life to it, because sometimes you just need to have a story that's somewhat simple in the plot, but very effective in the way they tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, for last year or two, Disney has announced they'll be making several more Avatar movies. I think there's going to be 4 new ones in total.
One more.
Right. They were supposed to start the first one. They might actually, I think they may have pre-production. They're in production right now. With the whole COVID-19 shutdown, we don't know how that's going to affect things. So
well, they finished the live action filming a long time ago, and now they're just doing tons and tons of post-production work. And then I know there's going to be some additional reshoots, as there always are, but the majority of the live action material has been finished. But in a movie like that, that's like, 10% of the work, because it's almost entirely CGI at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just think it's still going to be limited in terms of their timeline, because you can't really work from home unless you have a full animated suite where you can do that. I think there's just, it's one thing to do storyboards, it's quite another to do all the CGI work. You need to have specialized equipment, which is probably in the office. Could be wrong.
But one of the articles you put in our show notes said that they are working at home and that they are still on track for December 2021.
I hope so. Hopefully that's true. Be great.
Because... Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. Some of these graphic artists, they probably have access to pretty high end machines at home, unlike us poor people.
Yeah. So
Not that I am a graphic artist at all, but
such as Derek's PC and his mic.
Yes, we were about 15 minutes late starting today because my mic didn't want to give me audio.
Too funny. I think Disney is smart because they are going to put new life into the Avatar movies with the new movies coming out, and that's going to play directly to Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney World at the Magic Kingdom in Orlando. I've been there. I've been there as recently as December of 2019. Derek, have you checked out Pandora yet?
Oh yeah, I've been there several times, and I absolutely love it. It is so cool to be there. The Flight of Passage ride is the best ride anywhere, and the river journey it's fun, it's cute, but just being there and seeing the mountains floating over your head with nothing holding them up, it's such an incredible thing. And the food's pretty good too.
Yeah, there's Pongu Pongu, and there's
Satili Canteen.
Oh, right. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I think. Well, let me ask you this, Carrie, you haven't been to Pandora, I take it, right?
I haven't even been to Florida, so no.
You've never been to Florida ever?
No, never.
Wow.
Yeah.
The furthest east I've gotten is Iowa. I've pretty much skipped over the rest of the country and went straight to Germany.
Did you see the birthplace of James T. Kirk?
No, I did not.
That's not my to-do list.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, but also, I mean, think about this. These new films, whenever they actually get released, may help inspire a new generation of environmentalists.
Yeah.
That so.
Hopefully.
I mean, this is. I mean, if you take humans off of the planet and show them destroying yet another planet in order to enrich themselves, it kind of just really helps hit home how really screwed up we are.
Oh yeah, I just think it's corporate greed.
Yeah,
it's a mess. Yeah, I think it's good. I think storytelling can have a direct influence on real world, both on individuals but also on politics. And it's kind of like the zeitgeist at the time. If you find a zeitgeist at the time, it can do some real good to it. And hopefully having respect for nature, having respect for the world around us, and understanding people may have different beliefs than you, like more, more native spiritual beliefs versus the orthodoxy of the day. I think that's very important. I also think science plays a big role, especially in the world of Avatar, because the scientists are actually they're the good guys. They're trying to actually learn about new people they've encountered, right? And they're doing their best to document it, trying to learn the language, trying to predict behavior, trying to understand behavior.
We'll try to understand how the environment works with the people and all that, how all the trees are interconnected and stuff.
Sorry, I see you. I wanted to say this because it's great. Actually, I was watching an episode of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, you with the episode about the mycelial network and stuff like that.
Yeah, the mycelial network. So fungus and tree roots and all this, and is this some sort of network going on there? Some really far and cool theories out there.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. I bought it off iTunes, but it's available on the National Geographic Channel in the States. So Disney's Pandora. One thing I've actually done in the last couple of weeks and probably before that is that I've fallen down the Disney YouTube rabbit hole. You have any idea how many YouTube videos there are on the parks? Like any
I'm sure there's tons.
In infinite amounts.
Right, okay. So you can YouTube Avatar Flight of Passage or the Navi River Journey, and there's tons of POV or point of view shots, so you can experience the ride on YouTube. So you can see what it's all about. I definitely recommend that.
Nice.
I'm sure the Flight of Passage won't look as good as it does in person, especially since it's a 3D image. Wouldn't it be all blurry and double image?
The one I saw, you can get an idea what the ride is like. The pitch itself is not too blurry, but you're not going to have the same movement on the bike, right? And that's something I want to ask you because I haven't been on Flight of Passage.
You haven't?
No, because I hate straight drops. I cannot do straight drops anymore. I don't go on roller coasters. My stomach
doesn't really drop. It's just like shaking.
Okay, that's my question. So is it like does it drop or is it just in your head? Because I can do that.
No. It's basically like Soarin'. If so, like you're in a bench and you're extended forward into the screen, and you turn and bump and jive and all that sort of thing in motion with the film. So there's no, I mean, like maybe it goes like boop like that, but there's no actual drop.
So you're not going to drop 10 feet. Because that's something that has pissed me off about Ride of the Resistance, because there is a drop at the end of Ride of Resistance in Galaxy's Edge. Yeah.
I haven't been yet. I was supposed to be going in let's see, a month and a half from now, but that's canceled now. But yeah, there's no drop. It's basically a simulator ride, but it is the best, most perfect and immersive simulator ride there is. The image is so crystal clear and sharp and gorgeous, and the sights of Pandora are so incredible. It's even better than the movie because they show new places, like they go out into the ocean and stuff, and it's breathtaking. It really is. Yeah. And even the line getting into it is so cool because you're going through this old forest base and then into the human military base. It's incredible. I can't say enough about it. It's the best theme park ride out there.
Yeah, the POV.
Well, I haven't been on Resistance yet, but
yeah. The YouTube videos I saw of it, I saw the whole pre-show and then the line you walk through. It's amazing.
Yeah,
and I definitely recommend that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about Pandora is just absolutely breathtaking. I can't recommend it enough. And you can get back there.
Yeah, and I saw the water scene you're talking about, and that's just outstanding on Passage of Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'm so scheduled to go to Anaheim in August for Star Wars Celebration. We'll see what happens with that.
That is still getting canceled. There's no way they're doing that.
I doubt that's going to go ahead. And if it doesn't go ahead, depending on circumstances, I will probably try to get to Disney World in the fall or early like January, February. So
Yeah, well, we're supposed to be locked down through at least middle of May now. So, with any luck, August might still be open, but who knows at this point.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic. I hate to say that, but we live in interesting times.
Yeah, and even
That is
even
true.
if we're open in August, are you really going to cram hundreds of thousands of people into one tiny little space?
That's true. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things shake out in the next couple of months, I guess.
Yeah. The Navi River journey, the ride, I thought it was nice. Basically, you sit on a boat. It's a dark, what's what they call it, dark rides, which means that you go past a series of settings. It's very fluorescent. It's very nice. It's a really catchy song. And if you're really tired at the parks, it's a good place to catch 10 minutes of sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically it's a small world on Pandora. It's just a slow moving boat ride, but it really is nice. It does have a lot of, very beautiful imagery, and at the end of it is the most amazing animatronic figure that has ever been created. It's an 8 foot tall shaman of songs, and she's singing and like playing the drums, and it looks 100% realistic. Nothing about it looks like a robot or a computer. It is amazing. And I can't wait for them to start using more of those things, because I know that the animatronics at the Star Wars rides are not that level. They're like the level before that.
Okay.
So it's like, man, I can't wait for Disney World to like eventually replace all their animatronics with these photorealistic creatures, because it is just amazing to see.
Mm.
Have you been on that, Joel?
The river journey? Yeah, I have.
Yeah. Okay.
I have actually haven't experienced Pandora at Disney at night. I heard it's like the best place to go at night because the park itself just comes alive.
Yeah, all the
lights.
stuff is glowing, and the floors glow. It's beautiful. It's beautiful in the day and the night. It's amazing.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like a secret pleasure, a guilty pleasure of mine is Pandora, because Avatar doesn't get as much credit that, in my opinion, it should.
Yeah, it's popular for people on the internet to dump on Avatar, like, oh, nobody remembers it. It was one movie. Everybody's forgotten it. It was the highest grossing film of all time, and when the sequel comes out, that's going to be up there too, because it's James Cameron and it's the sequel to the highest grossing film of all time. And people badmouth the construction of Pandora because they said, oh, why are you building this huge themed land to a movie that nobody remembers? But you know what? Pandora is extremely popular, and the line for Flight of Passage is still 2 hours. It came out. It opened 4 years ago, and it is still a 2 hour line because it is that popular and that incredible, and everyone loves the land. Regardless of what they think about the movie Avatar. And all the people going to Animal Kingdom and loving Pandora are going to be excited for Avatar 2 now because of it.
Yeah, I think anything Disney touches and spends money on, it's going to do well. I don't think it's going to be...
Except for March, April, or May.
I don't think it's going to be like a John Carter, or based off the book John Carter of Mars, right? Okay.
Oh, poor John Carter.
Oh, God. Or was it the Lone Ranger? Yeah, that's not.
Or the Lone Ranger, or Tomorrowland. They have their misfires. But...
Oh wow, I like that. Let's go back to the movie because there's some really cool fight scenes, right? First, we have the banshees, the whole rite of passage thing. That was an amazing scene, right?
Yeah.
Right? Which is what Flight of Passage is based on, right? So you're on these big giant creatures, winged creatures, and you go up and down and left and right. It's like being on a griffin, and just so medieval. I love that.
Or How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a scene in How to Train Your Dragon 3 that is, or maybe it's the second one, but it is like straight out of Avatar. It's like him like flying through the mountains and the waterfalls and stuff. Like it felt very Avatar-y to me.
Interesting.
That's like the first one.
Is it the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have one thing, a bone to pick, so to speak, in that movie. Towards the end of the second act, during one of the major assaults on this big giant tree of life thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, actually, maybe it's that final battle where the tribes have been spoiler. The tribes have been gathered, so to speak. So there's a huge Navi army, some of which are in the air, and some of which are on horseback or the version of horses. And they find the mining company goons or mercenaries, right? They're all out in a straight line, patrolling, right, marching towards this area. And so what does the Navy do? They launch a cavalry charge directly onto their position. Guys, you ever heard about flanking? So they're cut down by machine guns. No, flanking is the way to go. Come on. Flanking.
Well, I think part of the problem is that they were not familiar with human technology, so they were still operating under, pre-technology warfare rules. So they're probably just going like, oh, we'll charge straight at them and strike the fear into them, and they'll freak out and they'll falter, while not taking into account the fact that they were in impenetrable metal shells.
Yeah.
Well, also they were trying to keep themselves between the all the army goons and the trees and the central tree there. So
that's true. It was an escort mission.
Yeah,
the worst kind of video game mission.
I also get the whole Vietnam vibe to it. So you have these helicopter or jump ships, which is very much like a late 1960s, early 1970s U.S. cavalry, air cavalry, right? And so it's flashbacks to the U.S. forces in Vietnam fighting the Viet Cong, who, at least at the beginning of the Vietnam War, they thought were savages and were terrible at military affairs. And they underestimate them. Yeah. So I think the Navy can be kind of like the Viet Cong, but there's so many ways to read comparisons.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Kind of makes you wonder what the next generation of filmmakers are going to use as their cultural touchstone, because people like George Lucas and James Cameron with Star Wars and Avatar, they're obviously operating off of the Vietnam model. But what would someone like our age who grew up in the War on Terror, what would their model be for, a generic good versus evil battle?
Yeah, it's kind of hard because we've been fighting a war on terror for 19 years now. When is it going to end? Are we winning or losing? The metrics aren't there. How can you tell that?
Yeah.
So, brutal. Oh, well, any last thoughts on the whole Avatar business? I know there was some comic books that came out right after the movie, which is cool, and there's some more comic books coming out I think a year ago or 2 years ago. So, and there's spillover effects in terms of video games. It was a video game from 2010, I think. 2009.
I don't remember. I've been playing video games.
I'm not much of a gamer, but once I can get a PlayStation 5, I might become a gamer. It's that point.
I never heard of this game, so I'm assuming it was a cheap movie tie-in game that was swiftly forgotten.
Yeah. Apparently, you could still play it in that until 2014. Yeah. Like a community, shared servers, that type of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So they use their neural tail fiber things. That's how they have sex with each other. So when he does it with a horse or a banshee, is he having sex with the horse and the banshee?
No, Derek. No, Derek.
That's just add to the visual sexual mechanism. It's not.
It's how they communicate with.
So do they have traditional genitals then? Because they wear these little loincloths, but there doesn't really seem to be anything there.
I don't even want to think about this. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah. That's not going to be the next Disney ride. I can tell you that. Okay. Oh God. Moving on. Anything else? What do you think the future is for this franchise? In terms of,
I guess we'll have to see how the next movie does.
I think all four are going to be huge hits. Like I said, always bet on James Cameron. He is always, I don't want to say right, but he's always financially successful. Let's say that.
Okay, how about this as a question? And it's a morbid question, and I'm kind of halfway apologizing to asking this question, but I'm really not. What happened from a corporate perspective from Disney, like they did with Jim Henson when Jim Henson died, very like, in a very bad time of trying to expand the Muppets? What would happen if James Cameron dies during this production of these movies?
Well,
I don't
2
know.
is already, 75% finished story-wise, and I think they've already written all the other ones, so I think the stories are all done.
Right. So it's kind of like what would happen if George Lucas would have passed away before the sequels? Right? Because we're talking about men who are in their 60s and 70s.
True.
Yeah.
That's a bit morbid. Thank you, Joel.
Well, anytime. I do try to see things from a business perspective. It's about risk management and liability. Yeah, and jeopardy.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure the scripts have already been written and finished for all 4 of them, because I do recall them saying how they wrote them all at once at the beginning of all this. And beyond that, I mean, it's a whole team of thousands of people doing the technical work and, setting all that up. So I'm sure the events have been set in motion. They can't be stopped, and that, the work that needs to be done is already done. But of course, James Cameron will be fine.
Mm.
I hope so too, and I know that's not a Mickey Mouse.
We can only hope.
Yeah, and I know it's not a Mickey Mouse operation. There you go.
Except it kind of is.
It kind of is. Yeah. Damn rodent. Okay, guys, let's close our doors for this episode of the SciFi Pubcast. Yes, this show is released as a podcast, and it's also released on YouTube, usually the following day. So you can find it on your favorite podcast app, or you can go to YouTube and see our talking heads. That's right. Check out our Discord community server. Discord is a series of chat channels where I post news. We sometimes have conversations. It's a small group of people, of course, but hey, we have fun, so do that. If you do find us on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss a show. Plus, it helps people find us. We're also on social media because that's the age we live in. I do Twitter and I do Facebook. Yes. So on Twitter, it's the SciFi Pubcast. Yes, our name. And of course, I don't. I said Facebook. Sorry, I don't do Facebook. I do Instagram. Terrible. Derek, you do Facebook.
Yes.
And you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
There you go. Right.
Even though you thought you were the one doing the Facebook page.
Yeah, I don't know. Show notes.
Well, he does post the episodes themselves up, because I'll go on there and all of a sudden that'll be on there. It's like, hey, I didn't do that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Did I mention I'm quite hungover? Yeah, and I'm drinking Guinness, and it's going on really well today. Okay.
Before we quit,
yeah.
I just remembered a major point we didn't talk about. The extended edition.
Right.
The Blu-ray has 30 minutes of additional material, so that's what I'm watching. Have you guys seen the extended edition?
No, I have
Yep.
not.
Okay. It's just like The Lord of the Rings. It's way better than the theatrical cut.
Oh, really?
I don't know how your version starts, but this version actually opens up on Earth in the future, so we actually get to see what life is like on Earth. And the very first shot of him is on a city street, and everyone is wearing a breath mask. They don't say why. Everybody's just wearing masks. And it shows him, living in his crappy little life in his crappy little apartment, getting in bar fights because he saw a man beating up his girlfriend, so he goes to beat up the guy, showing that he's a hero ahead of time. So if you like Avatar, go buy the Blu-ray. It has 30 minutes of additional scenes. I don't remember what's new or not anymore, because this is the only version of the film I've seen since theater. But yeah, it has 30 minutes of scenes, and I think a lot of it is action scenes as well. So they actually did all the CGI work and stuff. It's not just like character scenes. So I highly recommend getting the Blu-ray with an additional 30 minutes of footage.
Excellent. I have to get on that myself. Yeah. Okay, cool. So if anyone wants to email us, we all get this email, by the way, so it's forwarded to our personal emails. It's management@scifipubcast.space. Our personal Twitter handles. Carrie, what's your Twitter address?
My Twitter handle is Carrie Blackfire42. That's KERI Blackfire42.
And Derek, what's yours?
I'm at Derek J. Beebe.
And my personal Twitter address is @Joel_Welch. It's closing time. Please take care and, well, I would say make it home safe, but you're probably listening to it at home already. Yeah, I hope we get back to normal sometime soon. And we'll see you next time. Take care, guys. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Music provided courtesy of Logan Rathbone. Podcast logo by Jea Rhea. Copyrighted Joe Welch. Listen responsibly, and we can't wait for your next visit to our fine establishment. Cheers.